Welcome back. So in this video I just start off tidying up a few things before I finish off the deck. So I've got brake lights and headlights, and I figured I may as well have reverse lights as well. So just setting these up in the rear here, and I think it might be quite handy. I do have reverse, so at least there'll be a bit of light when I'm travelling around at night, if I should do that. Also got a handbrake, and what I did is I bought a gear lever, and here I'm just boring it out because I didn't really like the rubber handle that come with the handbrake. So bought it out, made it fit over the handbrake, and it turned out really good. So here's the finished bore. That's much better than the crappy rubber that comes with these. So that's worked a treat. The last thing is the mufflers. So you can see they're a bit daggy. There's a couple of little pinholes. I'm not happy with that. I think once it's all sprayed, they're going to look a bit average. So I bought some new Dunstals. Funnily enough, literally the day that these arrived, a good friend of mine also donated these Contis from a Ducati. So interested, let me know what you think, whether I should put these on. They are the real deal. They're amazing mufflers and very expensive. So not really sure I'm prepared to cut them up. I'm sure I'll upset some Ducati fans, so let me know what you think. But I'll most likely just use the Dunstals. So from the last video, I did get the deck running, but I had a few issues with it, so I'm just going to resolve those issues now. So as you can see here too, if you're interested in wood heaters, so this one is on my previous videos. I've got it running because it's quite cold in Australia now. I normally burn wood, but on this occasion I've set it up with my oil feed, so that's just burning engine oil. Burns really clean, keeps the shed nice and warm. So again, if you're interested in that, check out my other videos. So just on this deck, the main problem I had was speed, or it was two problems. The first one was speed, so just taking the main drive pulleys off, and I've got some new ones that I was going to use, but obviously they're too big, so I'm cutting the center out with the spline, and I've bought two smaller pulleys that will take their place, so they're about 2.5 inch instead of 5 inch. The other problem I had was this original linkage here was there to obviously support the deck as it moved up and down. The problem with that design is from the electric clutch to the pulley, as you can see here, it was about 320 mil when it was down, and as the deck went up, the way it's set up, that reduced down to about 290 mil, so meaning that I just couldn't get that much slack in the belt because the length was changing as it was going up and down. So I've shortened that linkage, I've turned it around the other way, and if you think about the geometry of what I'm doing here, what actually happens now is the deck moves backwards as it's lowered, so the belt length is exactly the same no matter what the position is, so that's worked out awesomely. The other thing is with small pulleys on there, so they're only 2.5 inch, I need to make sure that there's enough wrap around those pulleys so they don't slip. So just making a idler post here and positioning them a bit differently to make sure that I do have really good wrap around those belts. And the other thing I did is I've upgraded from an A section belt to B section, given they're a bit smaller, and I want to make sure I get good drive and the belt lasts and so forth. One of the last things on the deck was this guard. So the original guard didn't fit anymore because the pulley is so much smaller. So I just made my own up here. You can see just out of a bit of stainless steel I had laying around. Put them on the deck, and they turned out pretty good. So all looks tidy. You can see the pulley there, the little one. I've still got to just weld that up in a moment. Here's a B section belt, a standard belt. Problem with that type is it doesn't have the flex, so I did a bit of research. I bought this tri-power belt from Gates, and you can see it's really well made belt, and you can see how tight a radius we can get there. This is just welding that center onto the new pulley. You can see I've wrapped a V-belt around there, sprayed it with a bit of water because I don't want it to burn through, otherwise it'll damage the belt, and it's quite thin there. And then I'll put that tab just on one pulley, that's for the magnet, so I can pick up the speed. So just putting that cog V-belt on now, wrapping it around just so you can see what it looks like. Really happy with the way this has turned out. So as I said, that's a B section belt, and really good wrap around both pulleys, 2 tensioners. It looks really good. So from here, just slide it under again to do another test. Put the arms on, put the belt around, and hopefully this time around it's going to work. So I've just started up here. This is the very first rev, and you can see quick start on and off, and then do it again. As soon as I started this, I could see the difference with the speed. I put the RPM meter on it. It is perfect. So running twice the speed is what it was before. Tracks well, starts, does everything. Really happy. There's the additional RPM display. So this one's going to be for the cutters themselves. And you can see here, just for anyone who's going to use this, it's quite simple to wire up compared to the Tacho, but the magnet is polarity sensitive, so make sure if you get one of these you put the magnet the right way around, otherwise it won't read. So that's going to be quite helpful, then I'll know what RPM the deck's doing. So I just started up here. I'll show you after this, the next video I'll do a bit of footage of it cutting the lawn, and after that, once I'm happy with it, I'll pull it down completely, respray it, make it look pretty, and this project will then be coming to an end. So just starting it up here. As I said, this turned out really well, and you can see the wrap around that pulley. It's not slipping at all. The speeds are perfect, and if you look at my previous video, you can just tell the speed that this is running. I've only got an old blade on there, so I've got to put some new blades, but it's going to mow really well. So I'll put some footage up soon of what it looks like mowing, and as I said, I'll start pulling it apart pretty soon. So stay tuned, there's a bit more to go, and we're finally getting to the fun bit.